I think one of the major needs of HR is to be effective in the area of strategy and planning. And what we're seeing in cloud computing is the ability now to provide the right sort of platform, the right sort of environment, and that allows companies to get access to data and far more meaningful metrics. So I think what we're seeing is much more quality in the kind of information they can provide. And of course there are other conditions relating to the quality of information, the quality of data. So there's an obligation on the company now to lift their game in terms of getting their data in order, their house in order. But definitely the technology now allows much more available information. You've got big data, different types of data. You've got an opportunity now to be able to put out to managers and executives the kind of information they need to effectively manage their day-to-day business. Well, I think if we look at cloud computing, we're looking at infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and now platform as a service. And I think it's that platform as a service that offers the most for HR in the future, in the terms of the platform for integration, platform for data store for metrics, as I mentioned, and for custom development. So custom development in particular, as companies are now able to offer the development environment as part of the platform. So I think it's a case of maturity. The cloud's now matured from simply a hosted infrastructure to a much more usable environment for HR people. And I think we're going to see line managers and other people that are involved in HR take advantage of some of the technology that's on offer. There are systems that have been purpose-built for the on-premise environment, and they're not able to be ported simply across to the cloud and sold as a cloud solution. So they've got to be purpose-built for the cloud. So that's the first thing you look for. And then the second thing you look for is the background of the company involved. And now with social media, you can go into LinkedIn, you can see who are the people involved in the company, you can have a look at their expertise, so you can get an idea of the credibility of the company, the integrity, and in particular their domain experience. So that's another thing. Also the flexibility of their software to be able to adapt to the change in the business. As requirements change, the technology needs to be maybe extended or even replaced. So flexibility is an important issue, and I think you've got to look at the company's future strategy. Are they in for the long term? A lot of companies now come in with a strategy of being acquired, so you've got to look at where the company itself is going. And I think finally you've got to look for probably the suitability of the product for your own business requirements. In terms of social media now, and if we're looking at HR's use of social media and how that all fits together, the cloud is perfect for that sort of business direction. We're looking at the recruitment business now being probably the first to uptake the social media, but then you've now got reward systems in place, the gamification coming into business applications, and you're looking more in terms of integration of social media into business processes. So whereas business processes in the past have been mainly transactional, you're now looking at a new kind of business application. I think it's very much like the internet. When the internet came out and there was a novelty, a lot of people decided they'd spend time during the day exploring the internet, and there was a loss of productivity. So I see the social media technology going through the same phase before it reaches mainstream and becomes an integral part of HR processes. So I'd say it'll probably take at least 12 months to mature, and companies put in place the right sort of policies and procedures, especially too from a legal and compliance perspective. I see that as a potential risk. We're definitely exploring the pitfalls. What are going to be the obstacles and what are going to be the compliance issues. Definitely have a look at how to get around that loss of productivity, but focus on those applications such as performance compensation, recruitment, that are going to take advantage of the networking, collaborative nature of social media. Because remember too, things like Twitter and blogging in particular that have undergone major changes as to how they've been used, and they've gone from a trivial sort of novelty to be able to be harnessed into something productive and useful for HR. I think cloud computing is very much an enabling technology, and one of the problems that HR business have experienced is change, and nothing ever remains the same. So in the past, where you were locked into software that wasn't really suitable for customization and change, you've now got cloud computing, custom development that allows you to extend the functionality of the system in that cloud environment. So it becomes almost seamless, as your application can now take in custom development work and make it appear as all part and parcel of the same application. Oh, absolutely. I think it's definitely mainstream now, and there's no going back, because with cloud computing, I think you take the example of a CIO going to management with a proposal to build an on-premise solution and putting together the business case of bringing in support teams and capital expenditure. It just wouldn't fly. So you've now got that situation where cloud computing really is the established way of delivering business applications. And it's just going to mature more. It's going to offer a lot more opportunities for the IT people to focus more on the quality of business applications rather than maintaining infrastructure and looking after maintaining systems. It'll be much more value added for every business that moves in the cloud direction. I think so. I think if people had the opportunity, they'd all do it tomorrow. But the reality is, with the economic climate, people aren't prepared to make that change right now. So as their system comes up for renewal, as there's an upgrade of technology from the enterprise level, that's when you'll see more people come onto the cloud and look for applications that are built for the cloud, and increase their expertise in managing the other features associated with the cloud: social media, custom development, integration, data store, unified databases for metrics, reporting, all the good stuff the cloud offers.